I can sense that there's a calm energy about it. And everyone who has come into this house has had that moment where they walk in and they go, oh my God, it feels so good in here. Like it feels like a sanctuary.
And that's exactly what Kiona Beatty and Ken Zach's 1920 Mission Hill bungalow feels and smells like. A sanctuary perfumed with Palo Santo and filled with plants and decorated in rich earth tones. But in 2019, they uncovered a hard truth about their dream home, a racially restrictive covenant attached to the original deed. It, like so many other San Diego properties built in the early 20th century, barred non-white people from owning in their neighborhood.
That's a shadow over this, not only this property, but this whole neighborhood has this restriction tied to it, or, at least did. Now it's not legally enforceable. But so to me, it was like, let's remove that. Let's remove that shadow for this house.
Beatty is black and Zach is white. It felt wrong that the original deed to their shared home banned Beatty from living there. The U.S. Supreme Court outlawed racially restrictive deeds in 1948, and there was an attachment to their deed saying just that. But Beatty and Zach wanted to take things a step further. They wanted any and all mentions of the restrictions struck from the document.
So what I did is I just, again, I was a retired lawyer at the time, so I just Googled, the statute and found it, and the statute's pretty clear.
The statute Zach is referring to is a law that was enacted in 2005. It gives California homeowners the ability to cross out racially restrictive language from their deeds. Beatty and Ken finished the process on the last day of 2020's Black History Month. They immediately felt the difference.
People might say, oh, it's not enforceable, so what's the point in going through all the steps and doing this? Like, what does it really prove? And I like to say it felt like doing like just like a big sage, like smudge stick. It's like the ultimate smudge stick.
For them, it's not about forgetting, but creating a new foundation and future for their home. Not everyone in California, however, is eager to remove the racially restrictive covenants from their deeds.
You can make a statement, as they have, that says that language does not apply, but I don't want it to be lost 20 years from now that this was a part of society. They say, be aware of history or forever be doomed to repeat it. Certain parts of the country, I see repeats, and for me, I just want it known this happens here in San Diego, too.
Michael Du of El Cerrito is a black homeowner who was once mistaken for a gardener in his own El Cerrito neighborhood. He's keeping the restrictive language on his deed, and he's been able to use it to get his extended family to talk about San Diego's racist history and the hurdles they faced. It's not been easy.
You really have to pull teeth to get your older relatives to talk about these things, and I think that's a piece of the trauma of it all, is like, rather than tackle it head on, we're just going to put it in the back.
He understands why his grandfathers and family don't want to talk about it. But he also wants to make sure that the history is kept alive, especially as debates over suburbia, single-family zoning, and where to build affordable housing are once again taking center stage, at the local level, and as we saw during the 2020 presidential campaign, at the national level.
People will fight all of their lives to get into the suburbs and have a beautiful home. There will be no more low-income housing forced into the suburbs.
Racially restrictive covenants and other forms of housing discrimination are illegal now. But the ideas and language that normalize racial restrictions in the first place continue today.
You see it a lot in NIMBYism. So a lot of NIMBY movements, not in my backyard movements, where people are pushing back against changes that would make a neighborhood more accessible.
That's Nancy Quack, a UC San Diego historian. Often when local San Diegans talk about property values and their rights as homeowners, she hears the same logic that was used in the past to defend segregation.
I earned this house. This is where I put my money and I saved my earnings, so therefore this is something that I deserve.
Quack says that while we no longer hear overt racist statements around housing, homeowners still feel it's their right to control who can and can't live near them. That's why she and others emphasize the importance of seeing and understanding the connection between the racial covenants of last century and the housing issues of today. It's key to ensuring a more equitable future. Cristina Kim, KPBS News.